BP is tying up expert witnesses who might otherwise testify for the federal government when the government files its natural resources damage assessment lawsuit.
I discovered it was inhibited about a year ago, and the explanation I got was that from the OIM down, they did not want people woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning due to false alarms.
The contract is short and to the point, just 3 pages. It's between BP and marine scientists and researchers along the Gulf, hired for their expert witness services. Sounds pretty harmless, right? Hardly, say the scientists we spoke with who tell us they've been approached by BP. The scientists also say that BP is trying to prevent the scientists' ongoing research and findings about the spill from being made public. BP's contract states all communication between the scientists and BP attorneys should be considered, quote, privileged and confidential. It also says scientists have to wait 3 years after they sign the contract to publish their findings, or at least until the natural resource damage assessment is complete. No matter what the scientists find, good or bad, they can only share it with BP. Robert Weigel, a Mississippi environmental lawyer who has clients with claims against BP, looked over the contract. He says BP is trying to buy silence by taking key scientists out of circulation.
The public's going to need the best science that they can get to make sure that the damage from the spill gets fixed, gets compensated for, and that it gets done in the best possible way. And if you lock up the people who know the most about this, who are the scientists in the research institutions down here, the public's not going to get what it ought to out of that process.
They told me that I couldn't work for anybody else, that I could not speak out publicly about the oil spill, and I told them I probably was not interested.
One, you got to be truthful, got to be honest, and you got to be straightforward. We can't mislead people. So we have to be responsible, and we have to be demanding, and we will continue to do that.
Combating the public relations disaster by putting an American face on the British company. Robert Dudley, a longtime BP employee, will take Hayward's place.
I've spent the last 3 months every day on the Gulf Coast, and I'm going to focus for the next month and a half on what we're doing in the Gulf Coast, our relationships with the Gulf Coast and in Washington. Well, there's no question we're going to learn a lot from this accident in the Gulf Coast. It's going to be about equipment, people, different companies. And as a result of that, we're going to learn a lot about BP and the industry, and I'm sure there will be changes.